Girls, tell me about a time where your quick thinking probably saved your life.
So I used to dog sit this dog who was like really well trained. The simple stuff, stay, heel, sit, lie down, roll over, play dead, whatever. But he also had an attack command. So I'm dog sitting. I was staying over at that house because they were out of town for a while. It's 3 a.m. I'm asleep. And I wake up to hearing the dog growling. So I sit up and I look around and then I hear the door handle jiggle. And I was like, oh no. And then I hear the window rattle. So I throw myself out of bed. I open the kennel for the dog. I get him by the collar and I go into the living room. And I just kind of announced there's a dog. I heard the window start to slide open. So I said it again. I was like, there's a dog. I turn on the lights. I see just a dude in the fucking window. So I give this dog the attack command, let go of his collar. He goes flying across the room. And I have never heard a grown man scream like that before. It was horrifying.
Girls, tell me about a time where your quick thinking probably saved your life.
I was leaving the gym late at night going to my car, and there was my car and then someone else beside my car. A lady standing there at my driver's seat at her passenger seat. As soon as I left, a guy started walking right behind me. He was waiting outside the gym. He was right on my shoulder, right? So I'm like, I can't turn around. He's gonna friggin' stab me. They were looking at each other and I'm like, they're gonna snatch me. They're gonna take me into their car when I go over there. She's hanging out by my driver's door so that I go to my driver's door and they can snatch me away. I can't turn around. Buddy's right on my shoulder. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I walked up to my car. I unlocked it and I hopped in the back seat in the passenger side. And then I locked it as soon as I got it. As soon as I open the door, I lock it and slide in, right? And they look at each other. They reach for my door handle. They give it a wiggle and it was locked, so they couldn't get in. They just looked at each other and got in their car and booked it. I'm like, I think I just almost got kidnapped there. I live in a small town, so there was no one else in the parking lot. Still super confused. I think I almost got kidnapped.
Girls, tell me about a time where your quick thinking probably saved your life.
My ex-boyfriend and I had just been on a date, and it was our second date, and he took me all the way home on buses, trains. We just wanted to hang out, basically. That's what we were doing. So we'd got on this bus, which was going to take me to a station that was near where I live. As we get off the last bus, there was a guy waiting at the bus stop and he had a t-shirt over his face, right? So you could just kind of see his eyes, but it was wrapped around his head. Me being me was like, oh, hi, by the way, this was the last bus. There's not going to be another bus after this, so maybe you want to find an alternative way to get home. He was like, okay, thank you, whatever, but stayed at the bus stop where me and my ex-boyfriend were ordering our Ubers home. He was going back to his house, I was going back to my house. And I did think it was kind of weird that he was just still waiting around, that he hadn't, made any effort to, get himself home. He just stayed at the bus stop with us. My ex-boyfriend's cab came a minute before mine, so I was like, just get in it, it's fine, it's a minute, who cares? You've come all this way with me, just get in your cab. I have to do a part 2.
Girls, tell me about a time where your quick thinking probably saved your life.
Okay, so it wasn't my life, it was another girl's, but honestly, this shit was wild. So this was when I was back in college, and I remember I was with a group of friends, and we were bar hopping, so we were walking around neighborhoods and stuff, and then all of a sudden I hear someone behind me running. I think it's a dude because I'm paranoid as fuck because we have to be, we're women, and I turn around and I realize it's a girl. For some reason, I just had this gut feeling that something was horribly wrong, so I snatched her by her arm and I went, oh my god, hey girl, I've been looking for you all night, where have you been? Pretending I knew her. This poor thing with tears in her eyes looks at me and goes, dude, I was hooking up with this guy and I really didn't want to, and then he went to go grab a condom and I didn't know what to do, so I jumped out the window and just started running. I walked that girl 5 miles home and tucked her into her bed in her dorm safe and fucking sound. Pussy power, ladies. Make sure we're protecting each other out here, okay?
Girls, tell me about a time where your quick thinking probably saved your life.
About 8 years ago, I was leaning over in the back seat, buckling my daughter into her car seat. I got a strange feeling like something was behind me, so I got up to look, and that's when I see a large man approaching me very quickly, arms outreached as if he was going to grab me. My first instinct was to say, stop or I'll shoot. He hesitated. That gave me enough time to jump in my car and speed away as fast as I could. I didn't have a gun on me. I don't know what made him not call my bluff, but that saved my life. That day, I went home and registered for my concealed weapons license class, and I've been carrying a firearm ever since. I never want to put myself in a position where I need a firearm and I don't have it ever again. I'd rather have and not need than need and not have. And I'd just like to note it's not carrying a firearm, it's also being efficient with it, so make sure you practice if you can.
Girls, tell me about a time where your quick thinking probably saved your life.
So a couple of years ago, I decided to go to a party with my friends, and it was bring your own drink, so we had to leave the party briefly in order to walk to the liquor store that was on the corner. And as we're walking out of the party, I noticed a group of about 5 or 6 guys following us. And these guys were beyond inebriated. So they start talking to us, asking us where we're going, what we're doing, why we're leaving the party so soon, can they come with us? And so we try to tell them, like, no, we're just getting drinks, we'll be back. But for the life of me, they would not believe anything we said. They insisted on following us despite us trying to get them to go back to the party. Things escalated and one of the guys ended up touching me, and I don't know what it was, but immediately after he touched me, I felt nauseous. I felt awful. At that point, I stopped my friends in their tracks, and all I say is, we need to go back to the party now. So my friend turns around and tells them, you know what, we're gonna go back to the party. Frankly, you guys are making us uncomfortable. We take 3 steps in the opposite direction, and one of the guys punches a dent in the neighbor's garage.
Girls, tell me about a time where your quick thinking probably saved your life.
So a couple months ago at the gas station, I went in, paid, came out, and there was this man that was trying to make small talk, like, hey, how are you, how's your day, you look nice, etc. I was in a rush and I wasn't in the mood, so I just said thanks and kept walking past him. As I was walking to my car, I realized I forgot my debit card, so I ran back in to go get it. For some reason, my gut said do not lose sight of that man, so I kept turning around, even looked at him through the glass when I was inside the gas station. I'm not sure if he thought I couldn't see him, but he literally went the opposite side of my car and crouched. So I always keep my taser/pepper spray with me, so when I walked back out, I went, confronted him, and told him he had to leave or I would call the cops. He told me America's a free country, so he can stand wherever he pleases. Luckily, this really nice guy saw everything from start to finish, had a word with him. The man ended up leaving, and the guy stayed with me until I finished pumping my gas. As I said thank you to the guy that helped me, he said I'm lucky that my doors were locked because the guy tried opening my back doors before.
Girls, tell me about a time where your quick thinking probably saved your life.
Okay, so when I was 19, I was coming back from college. It was a kind of a far drive. My gas light was already going off, so I knew I had to go get gas soon. All of a sudden, I get this really bad feeling in my stomach, and I got like that sixth sense where you can just tell someone's glaring at you. And so I turn over, and I see a 50-year-old man who was so creepy, just like literally staring at me. He rolled down his window. He's trying to talk to me, and I was like really creeped out, just so like, ugh. And anyways, I sped up, he sped up, I slowed down, he slowed down, and so I was like, this guy is following me, like, and I didn't want to go home because I was like, I don't want him to know where I live. Also, I was running out of gas, so I called my dad, he didn't answer, so I called a guy friend. I was like, you have to meet me at the Target, like, I'm running out of gas, and I'm really scared, and this guy's following me. I go into the Target, the guy literally follows me into the Target through the aisles, he's literally, like, right behind me. Luckily, my friend was there, and everything's fine.
Girls, tell me about a time where your quick thinking probably saved your life.
Ooh boy, this one's a doozy. In college, I went to a party with my best friend. It was in an apartment building on the 2nd floor. This is going to be important in a minute. She met up with her boyfriend there. I met up with a guy that I was literally just dating. Like, I think I had been on one date with him previously. And he started drinking a few beers, and he was getting really handsy, and it was making me really uncomfortable. Like, he was forcing me to sit in his lap. Like, he was yanking me down by my arm, forcing me to sit in his lap. And he was getting increasingly hostile and angry as the night went on. I knew he was not going to let me leave, and nobody at the party was paying very much attention to how disgusting and weird he was being. So I grabbed my best friend and went out on the balcony with her. I told him that we were going to go have girl talk for a minute. I quite literally said to her, hold my beer. I climbed over the side of the balcony, and I jumped off the balcony onto a patch of grass below and ran to my car. Y'all.
Amazon products that went viral. The first is this digital clock with USB ports on the side. And the second item is this portable humidifier. You can adjust the angle and have a light show. The link can be found in my bio.